Ooh, alright, get in the chat if you guys are watching this live. If you guys are watching this afterwards, you guys know the drill. Alrighty, yo, what up, everybody? It is your boy Fitzbo TV here, aka G-Lord33. I am back here tonight with the Legit Shoot podcast, here with your Monday Night Raw review and results for February 24th, 2020. It's kind of crazy to think about it, guys, man. We're already in the final week of February. March starts next week, next Sunday, I believe. I believe so, if I'm right. Yeah, because there's only 29 days in February this month. But anyway, you guys know the drill, man. Thank you guys for joining me tonight for your Monday Night Raw review and results. Gonna be honest with you guys, like I always am here, man. Don't really know how long we're gonna go tonight. I don't, the show wasn't terrible tonight. It wasn't. I just don't really have much to say. If I'm being honest, there's really does not much happen on this show. The show didn't suck, or anything, but really there's just not a lot that happened on tonight's show for me to talk about. We had the. It's kind of crazy to think about it, guys. We had the contract signing for the Elimination Chamber Raw Women's Championship match. Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch face off tonight, that was actually a really good segment in my eyes. Most contract signings in WWE are trash these days, but I think they did a decent job with this one. We'll discuss that. We also had Kevin Owens confronting Randy Orton tonight, which I actually appreciate that. It's something different. The last couple of weeks, you guys have heard me bitch and complain. I've gotten kind of tired of this Kevin Owens Seth Rollins AOP storyline, mainly because we were getting the same thing every single week. We're getting 6-man tags every single week. Tonight, they actually decided to do something a little bit different, which, I actually appreciate that. I appreciate that. And they executed it pretty well. It forwarded the Randy Orton Edge storyline, and it also forwarded the Kevin Owens AOP storyline. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. We also had an appearance by Brock Lesnar, and I know he was there because, Super Showdown is 3 days away. But there was legit no point to his appearance. No point to his appearance. He legit came out, stood, Paul Heyman talked for 5 minutes, and that was it. Like, damn, if I was like at Brock Lesnar's job, legit just have to walk out there, stand there for a couple minutes while I have my advocate hype me up all the time, and then get paid millions and millions of dollars to do that? Like, that's crazy. They've done absolutely nothing for me to believe that Ricochet even has a chance in hell against Lesnar this Sunday, or on Thursday. Excuse me, guys. I'm coming down with I'm starting to get a cold. Like, I'm not there yet, but usually I can tell when I'm getting cold because my throat's been sore all day. So definitely, I think I'm getting a cold. Yeah, so there was no point in Brock Lesnar's appearance. We'll talk about that as well. We also had Aleister Black. It looks like Aleister Black is getting some more direction. They finally started building Aleister Black back up again, and I appreciate that, and I kind of like where this is going. I think this may fit in to where AJ Styles is going for WrestleMania. Based on the rumors, it looks like Undertaker is going to be his opponent for WrestleMania, and I can definitely see possibly we could see the return of the Undertaker next week right here on Monday Night Raw. Other than that, guys, nothing else really happened, of note. And that's mainly because we have Super Showdown on Thursday. I don't really care about Super Showdown. It's taking place at 12 o'clock noon. I have a class at that time, I'll probably watch a show later on during work, and I'll probably do a review Thursday night if you guys want that. Well, if there's like stuff to actually talk about, because I don't really see anything big happening on this show. But I feel like the road to WrestleMania will actually really pick up after Super Showdown. I hate, and JD and other people in the community talked about this during the weekend on their podcast. They talked about there's just too many WWE shows in a year, too many pay-per-views, and then there's some reports of WWE potentially selling its pay-per-view rights to ESPN, which would be an absolute terrible idea. WWE Network is $10 a month, and you get all the shows on there. You know, you've already taken NXT off the network, so you could, you know, have it go up against AEW Wednesday nights on USA Network. And now you're thinking about taking your pay-per-views off. The main reason why I would say about 75% to 80% of the subscribers to the network, they're subscribed to the network for the pay-per-views every single month. Getting WWE pay-per-views for only $10 a month is an absolute steal. And the fact that WWE is considering selling those rights to ESPN would be a travesty. It would be a travesty. The reason why, you know, the same people are watching each and every single week and you're not seeing an increase in viewership is because the shows most weeks are boring and garbage. Look at SmackDown most weeks. Look at Raw. Raw's doing better now, but look at Raw the last couple years. The way these shows have been booked and the direction they go in have been absolute trash. And you expect new subscribers? No. Only really the diehards and the people that have no lives are the people watching these shows every single week. And people like me who cover this every single week on YouTube. Like, I really don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. You know, that's the reason why your views should go down. Do you think selling your rights to ESPN it's going to make everything better all of a sudden? It's not. It's not. What up, Top Boy? Jennifer Gomez, I saw your comment. I don't think I want to put that in the chat, man. That's not right. That is not right. But anyway, you guys see where I'm coming from here. You know, like, I'm going to waste my time. If WWE puts its pay-per-views on ESPN Plus, you know, look at UFC. You have to pay $65. And I have ESPN Plus, but I don't use it. I mainly have ESPN Plus because of the Disney Plus bundle. You get, like, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for $12 a month. Great deal. But the thing about it is, you know, it's one thing to have ESPN Plus, but then you have to pay for the fights itself. You know, when a UFC fight happens, like John Jones a couple weeks ago, when he had his big UFC fight, which I watched. I didn't pay for it. My friend let me use his account. But, you know, you had to pay $65 on top of the $5 you have to pay for the ESPN Plus streaming service just to watch the fight. Yes, just having ESPN alone is not going to get you the fight. So you're telling me if WWE moves its pay-per-views to ESPN Plus, I'm going to have to pay $60 a month for pay-per-view? Absolutely not. I'm either going to watch it off somebody else's account, or I'm going to look for it illegally online on some crack stream, something like that. I'm not going to lie. There's other ways for me to find the pay-per-view. I'm not paying $60 a month. All right, maybe if it's WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, and even that I'm questioning because the way WWE pay-per-views are these days, they're not even worth $65. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna pay $65 for an NXT Takeover show. Like, are you serious right now? Now, if you move your pay-per-views to ESPN Plus, people are gonna unsubscribe to the WWE Network, right? You think your subscriptions are gonna plummet. You're going to plummet. And the WWE Network is one of the best things the WWE has ever created. I'm going to give them credit. The WWE Network has been a blessing. But if you sell your rights to ESPN Plus, I know ESPN would be paying WWE a good amount of money, but it's not going to yet, but no one's going to be watching the pay-per-views. No one's going to be watching the pay-per-views. And then when WWE realizes that, you know, 2-3 months in, they're not going to be able to just say, oh, we want our pay-per-view rights back. Because usually these deals are for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Like, I believe the WWE deal with Fox is 5 years. And the WWE Saudi Arabia deal is 10 years. WWE has ways to make money. You want to be rich? You want to be successful? Here, book your shows better. It's that simple. And then you'll see an increase in viewership. You'll see an increase in subscriptions. And everything will be all good. It's a simple solution. All right? Fire the yes man you have in your company. Tell Vince to take a back seat. Let Triple H take over. And then the main roster will be more successful than NXT. It's that simple. Look at the way how NXT does things. If the main roster was done in the way NXT does things, we would not be having this conversation. WWE would be stupid to sell their pay-per-view rights to ESPN Plus. I hope they don't. I hope they don't. You know, there's a report going on that they're considering it. If they were smart, they would not do it. All right? I know there has to be somebody smart. somebody smart up there in the Stamford, Connecticut offices to stand up the Vince and see like, no, this is, or whoever's in charge, and be like, no, this is not a smart idea for the company. It's that simple. It's because people are so scared to stand up the Vince and tell him, just to tell him, oh hell no, this is not right. You know, people they want to be pussies and not be stand up the Vince McMahon and be like, this is not a good idea. They're just going to take him at his word just because he's the chairman and he's their boss. Someone needs to stand up for real and just say, no, this is not a good idea. This will hurt us in the long run. Like, come on. Book your shows better, and then you will not have to worry about subscriptions to the WWE Network. Junior, I don't know why you're saying that in the chat. Like, damn, congratulations, but aren't you like 13? What the hell, Junior? You're like 13. You're young. Like, I don't know, like, why. This guy's weird. Okay, whatever. I'm not getting entertained. We're going to get into the review. Anyway. And once again, I want to apologize, guys. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I have a runny nose and a sore throat. So if I sound a little congested, I sound weird, you guys know why. Oh, man. The thing is, I'm doing this live, so I can't edit this out. Anyway, look like hand sanitizer and everything here. Anyway, guys. Junior, you're not 17. You told me, like, just a couple months ago that you're 13, 14. I don't believe that. Don't lie to me. Alright? Anyway, Randy Orton kicks off Raw. So they advertised tonight that Randy Orton would be targeting his next victim. I've been highly positive on what they've been doing with Randy Orton and Edge. We have not heard, we haven't seen Edge since what happened the night after the Royal Rumble, and I love it. I love it. And I love what they did with Randy Orton and Matt Hardy, even though it was done to be embarrassing Matt Hardy on his way out from WWE. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'm seeing a bunch of stupid crap on Twitter about what's her name? Freaking not Lana, Lacey Evans, please. I just had. Anyway, I've loved what they've been doing with this whole Edge Randy Orton storyline. We have not heard anything from Edge, and I love it. You know, they're making us wait for an explanation for Randy Orton, and we know Edge is gonna come back any day now. All right, he's gonna come back any day now to make. And you know, Edge has been active on Twitter. He hasn't said much about what's going on with Randy Orton, but damn, this sickness is really getting to me. It's making it hard to do this review. Anyway, alright. But I love the way they've been doing this storyline. You know, we know that Edge is going to come back eventually. I feel like they're going to go really hard with this storyline probably after Elimination Chamber. You know, because there's no need to rush. I've been saying that for weeks. There's no need to rush this Randy Orton and Edge storyline. You know, Randy Orton has been very, very cryptic. He hasn't really made an explanation on why he did what he did, even though I personally think the reason why he did it is he wanted to quote unquote save Edge. He didn't want Edge to come back and, you know, have get injured again and have to retire. So Orton thought, oh, he was doing Edge a favor by taking him out, so Edge would have to suffer in the long term. That's the way I see it. You know, we still waiting on the official explanation. Every single week, Orton gives us like little hints, but I like the pacing. There's no need to rush. We still have about I think at this point we're about 5 weeks out from WrestleMania, if I'm right. 5-6 weeks away. So WrestleMania is coming out quick. We only have about 5 more Raws. So it's starting to get time. I'm telling you guys, right after Elimination Chamber, that's when I expect WWE to go real ham on their WrestleMania storylines. All right, I love this. I loved how Orton talked about, since this was the first time WWE has had a live Raw in Winnipeg in 15 years. Like, I was only about maybe 5 years old at the time, 5, 6 years old. Um, but he talked about back like last time that WWE was in Winnipeg 15 years ago. Orton was only 24 years old, and he talked about how he was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, and how he got punched in the face by a guy who would become his mentor and one of his closest friends, Adam Copeland, and we know him as Edge in WWE. So then, as Orton continues going to the storyline. KO comes out. KO got a massive pop. This was, no surprise because, KO, he is from Canada. I think he's from Quebec, but, he's in Canada. The Canadian people are some of the nicest people you'll meet. So, you guys can see what's going on there. I love this, all right? Because one thing I usually have a problem with WWE is they love to insult our intelligence. They love to, insult our intelligence, all right? Anyway, I'm seeing a bunch of stupid... I'm seeing a lot of stupid crap on Twitter. Why is everyone talking about Lacey Evans? I don't want to hear... No, she sucks. She sucks, people. Like, why do people keep... Fuck Lacey Evans, alright? Sorry. Back to the review, alright? I haven't heard no rumors about Sasha joining Raw. I don't know where you've got that. I have not heard that anywhere. That's nonsense. Unless you have an article, I don't believe you. Sorry. I haven't heard any rumors about Sasha Banks joining Raw. That's not happening. She's staying on SmackDown. Anyway, I love this because one thing that I have a problem with, WWE is always insulting our intelligence, and one thing that WWE does is they'll take a superstar out of a storyline and then they'll put them into another storyline and then completely forget about the storyline that superstar was in before. So Kevin Owens, he's been feuding with Seth Rollins, AOP, and Buddy Murphy for months now. And I liked how they put him in this Randy Orton storyline. It made sense. Kevin Owens is a red hot babyface. Randy Orton is a heel. Kevin Owens looked up to Edge when growing up on the independent scene, so it all made sense. It goes with the theme of people that are close to Edge or people that really idolize Edge growing up, how they're confronting Randy Orton for the attack that he did on Edge weeks ago. And the first thing Kevin Owens said when he came out is he said that even though he's dealing with Seth and AOP and Murphy right now, he decided to take a break from that so he could focus on Randy Orton because he really wanted to get answers. So I really appreciated that. They be not insulting our intelligence in this instant. Telling them that, all right, KO is still in the storyline with Seth. They're not forgetting about that, but they want to use him for other things, which I don't, I don't, mind that at all. Because one thing is, we've been seeing 6-man tags with Kevin Owens for weeks now. This is something different. This will help us get to whatever they have planned. I know that the rumors right now are Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. In my opinion, it shouldn't be that way. It should be Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. If Samoa Joe isn't ready to go, because I heard that he got injured filming a WWE commercial, which kind of sucks when you think about it, especially since Joe has already missed a WrestleMania. You guys remember, I think it was 2 years ago, Joe had to miss WrestleMania. I believe that was the year we were supposed to get Samoa Joe versus John Cena, but Joe was not able to go. And then last year, Joe had like a 3-minute match with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. So Joe has never really had a actual WrestleMania match, and I would feel really bad for Joe. I think Joe and Kevin Owens winning the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania would be absolutely great, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But what I would do is I would have KO team with somebody, maybe an Aleister Black or a Big Show to go up against Rollins and whatever. I thought they could do something like have Daniel Bryan make a cameo on Monday Night Raw and have that be a way to move Daniel Bryan to Raw, because we're gonna have the Superstar Shakeup. Have Daniel Bryan team up with KO, to help against AOP and Murphy and Rollins and all that. Since Bryan we don't know what they're gonna do with Bryan going to WrestleMania right now. All right, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, I love the interaction here between Owen and Randy, because KO is legit. Matt Hardy, he was on his way out, but KO's legit. Yeah, it's not going to be as easy for Orton to attack KO like he did to Matt Hardy. So KO's like, if you don't want to answer my questions, we could just fight. And Orton was like, bet. I'm not going to give you the answers you want, but we will fight. But just not right now. Later on today. So I like that. Classic heel move. The heel agreeing to a match with the babyface, but choosing he will do this on his side. This was a great segment to start the show. It's something different. It gives us a little bit of a break from the Kevin Owens storyline with AOP and Seth and all them. But they also factored in that storyline later on, because this match was your main event, and I actually like that. It was a good way to continue the storyline here. Going on next. Next up, we had Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza. And I have been very, very positive about Angel Garza. I really like him. I really do like him. I like him and Zelina Vega as a pairing. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I think Garza and Zelina, I enjoyed them more than I enjoyed Andrade and Zelina. And I know Andrade will be making his return to WWE TV in a couple days, because he will be competing at Super Showdown in that tournament they have, whatever it's called. I don't really care, but we know that's when Andrade will be making his return, because Lacey Evans sucks. All right, the only reason why she gets pushed is because she's a blonde, just like Charlotte, just like Alexa Bliss. Like, she sucks in the ring. Like, if you don't agree with me, whatever, it's your opinion, but I'm sorry, no. Lacey Evans is just another blonde being pushed because of her looks, not because of her skill in the ring. She's very sloppy, too. Get the hell out of here. Lacey Evans, force agenda, garbage. People ask me why I hate Lacey Evans. Get out of here with that. Anyway, back to the whole thing with Andrade. He's returning this Thursday at Super Showdown, and it was also confirmed that next week on Raw, Andrade's first match back on Raw in a month, we're gonna get Rey Mysterio, and I think it was Humberto. I could be wrong, but it was Rey Mysterio and somebody. I think it was Humberto going up against Garza and Andrade. So definitely it seems like, at least for now, Zelina is gonna be managing both Garza and Andrade. I could definitely see something, because it's been reported that Andrade is not expected to hold the United States Championship any longer. WWE has plans to take the title off of Andrade before WrestleMania. I don't know, maybe this is to punish him for his violation, because the U.S. Championship has not been featured on Raw in a month. Because I found it stupid that WWE didn't take the title off of Andrade after, he got suspended. They let him go to his suspension, still champion. So, and I still don't know what they're going to do with WrestleMania. And Garza's still an NXT superstar technically. He hasn't officially been moved up. Even though I'm really enjoying Garza on the main roster. They did a cool thing tonight when during the backstage interview with Charlie Caruso. Afterwards, Zelina leaves, and the Angel Garza is, Charlie, business is important, but business is also pleasure. And then she gives Charlie a nice little kiss on the hand, and you can tell Charlie was trying so hard not to blush. I like Angel Garza, man. The guy has charisma, and he has the skill in the ring to back it up. This match with Humberto was really good. Even though I have problems with Humberto's character, this was a really, really good match. And these two, they've had matches in the past. This was really good. And I'm seeing all this crap about Lacey Evans. Why are y'all trying to piss me off tonight? Like, for real. What do you mean that she gets a title shot? What did Lacey Evans do to earn a title shot? She pinned Bayley once, and then she lost at the Royal Rumble. All right, that's it. Go to the back of the line. I don't want to see Lacey Evans versus Bayley again. The match sucked. Why would I want to see that again? What's wrong with you people? You want to see Lacey Evans versus Bayley again? So now we've seen Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch, and we've seen Lacey Evans versus Bayley. Both championship matches. None of them were good. Lacey had 3 chances at Becky. All 3 of those matches were garbage. And her match with Bayley was garbage. Why would I want to see that again? Somebody explain that to me. If you want to see that again, then you're a stupid idiot. I don't care. I don't care about your opinion. You're an idiot if you want to see Lacey Evans again. Get out of here with that nonsense. I agree with you, Paul. Like, she's not good at promos. Everything you see her say, it doesn't feel organic. It's forced agenda down your throat. Like, stop with this Lacey Evans nonsense. I don't care. I really don't care. Anybody that thinks Lacey Evans is good? No. Alexa Bliss. I actually like Alexa Bliss to a fault. But the thing is, she's pushed just for her looks, and she's not that good in the ring. She's decent on the mic, but she's not that good in the ring. Like, get out of here. My gosh. Idiots, man. Like, no. You want Lacey Evans? Hey, have Lacey Evans win that stupid-ass women's battle royal they do every year at WrestleMania. Alright? I don't care, because no one cares about the battle royals. Keep Lacey Evans away from the title seed. She's garbage. Bayley and Sasha is the way to go. And we get anything that's not that, then this company's garbage. I don't care what anybody says. Guys are stupid idiots. Anyway, Garza and Humberto, this was great. As much as I don't really like Humberto, his character, he's great in the ring. And putting him with Garza, a guy he has fantastic chemistry with, this was great. This was absolutely spectacular. I'm loving Garza more and more every single week. I just hope they don't get to the point where they have him feel like a bird out. You know, I felt the same way about Andrade when he first came to the main roster, and then his booking just fell off so hard that I just didn't care. I like Andrade, but I just don't care for him the way I used to. Garza, so far, I'm loving the way he's been booked. I'm loving everything about him. I would argue that they turned Garza babyface because he was a babyface down in NXT. You have Zelina Vega turn on Andrade, and then you have Garza become United States Champion. And why don't you do a double turn? Turn Garza babyface and then turn Carrillo heel. I feel like that would be much better. Much better. Because Humberto has not really been able to get over as a babyface. I think Garza can, fit both roles perfectly. And, the fans seem to like him. And as we get to know him more and more and more on the main roster, the more success I want to see him have. That's just my opinion. But great match. We'll see what happens. We know Andrade's returning at Super Showdown. I think AJ Styles is going to be the guy that wins that little tournament because that's going to be, critical in the build-up to AJ Styles versus The Undertaker, which we'll talk about in just a sec. But Andrade should lose the title to either Rey Mysterio or Garza, in my opinion. Yeah, Junior, I said this last year. Yes, I did say that last year. But, you idiots like to keep, talking about the same crap. Keep bringing it up in the chat. Bringing it up on social media. Then I'm going to have to keep reminding y'all. Like, damn. Anyway, next up we had Ricochet versus Luke Gallows. I'm not surprised. I actually predicted we were going to get this match this week because it makes sense. We had Ricochet versus Carl Anderson last week. And then, this week, they give us Luke Gallows. Not surprised here. And this was just to build Ricochet up. There was no way Ricochet was going to lose, especially when he's facing Brock Lesnar on Thursday. The match wasn't bad, but, who cares? Who cares? Ricochet has 0 chance in hell. 0. He's not beating Brock Lesnar. Nobody cares. There's been, if you guys remember. Oh, man. Oh, Junior, if I don't like Raw, then don't watch it. Yeah. If I don't watch Raw, right? Who's gonna school you idiots? All right? Who's gonna educate you idiots on how the WWE should be booked? All right, Junior, you're sounding like a real idiot tonight. Like, you're pissing me off, bro. Like, Junior, I know you're one of the loyal subscribers, but you're acting like an idiot in the chat tonight, bro. You're acting like one of the goons. Anyway, like, keep saying that, I'm just gonna ignore you for the rest of the night. Pissing me off. But Ricochet has no chance of beating Brock Lesnar. Zero chance. They've done nothing to tell the story. What happened? Ricochet cost Lesnar the Royal Rumble by hitting with the low blow, allowed Drew McIntyre the Claymore the Claymore Brock Lesnar out of the ring. Then McIntyre went on to win the Royal Rumble, which was the right decision. Alright. Then the next night, they had the triple threat to determine Lesnar's Super Showdown opponent. Lesnar hit a Ricochet with a triple threat, F5, and that's it. Ricochet and Lesnar have had no confrontation ever since. They've done absolutely nothing to make you believe that Ricochet's going to win at Super Showdown. Yes, he's looked impressive. He beat Luke Gallows, he beat Carl Anderson, he beat Bobby Lashley a couple weeks ago. But what has he done other than that? They're all big men, right? But at the end of the day, they're nothing compared to Brock Lesnar. No, they're not compared to Brock Lesnar. You could fuse Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Bobby Lashley. You could fuse them all together, and they still wouldn't be anything to Brock Lesnar. I don't like common sense, people. Common sense. And the thing about it is, this goes right into the next segment, because Lesnar was at Raw tonight, and he did nothing. Basically, Paul Heyman came out and gave a promo about how Lesnar is going to defeat Ricochet and then defeat Brock Lesnar at, or how he's going to defeat Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. That was really it. He didn't say anything special. You know, he talked about how since 2002, Lesnar has been champion every single time he has been champion, which is facts. But that's also because Lesnar has complete control over his character. All right? If Lesnar wants to be champion, all he has to do is go to Vince McMahon and be like, let me be champion. Come on. Lesnar won the Universal and the WWE Championship both in 1 year. How many times has the guy been champion? And the thing is, he barely has to do anything because he's Brock Lesnar. If Lesnar wants to be champion for a year, he just has to go, yeah. And you're not going to do shit about it. Like, Lesnar don't care. Lesnar comes out half the time with toy belts. With toy belts. From you got the merchandise stand. That's how much Lesnar cares. He don't care. It's Brock Lesnar. But anyway, this was like nothing new. All he says that he owes Ricochet because Ricochet low blowed him at the Royal Rumble. So I expect Brock Lesnar to get a cheap shot in on Ricochet at Super Showdown and hit him with an F5. You know, I expect my prediction for the match is Brock Lesnar's gonna dominate for the first part of the match. Then Ricochet's gonna make some sort of comeback, do a couple high flying moves, but then right when he thinks he has Lesnar down, Lesnar's gonna hit him with the low blow, hit him with the F5, and get the victory. It's that simple. Lesnar's not losing. Ricochet has zero shot. Lesnar, and this was a pointless thing. They could have legit done a backstage interview or had Heyman appear via satellite or something like that. Like, they legit could have done that. Like, this is what happened. Lesnar did nothing. Lesnar did his entrance, walked out, stood in the ring for about 5 minutes, left, went on the commentary table, held his championship up, and then left. He did nothing. So you tell me, what if Lesnar had came out, right, after the Ricochet match, attacked Ricochet, hit him with an F5, and then did his promo after that? There was no point of Lesnar being there tonight. Absolutely no point. It was so dumb. So dumb. And even though after that, they did a backstage interview with Drew McIntyre, which I kind of enjoyed. Because it talked about how Drew McIntyre had to rebuild himself. They talked about his first run with WWE back with 3MB, and I like that. They're mentioning how McIntyre had to, go back to the drawing board and, rewrite himself, become a better person, become a better superstar. And he's done just that. He came back, went to NXT, became NXT champion, then he came to the main roster. And even though WWE failed him the last 2 years, all right, McIntyre had no championship matches the last 2 years, they're finally booking him correctly. And even though I feel like Drew McIntyre doesn't even need to be on WWE TV, because why does he need to be on WWE TV? Someone tell me the point. We don't need Drew McIntyre on WWE TV until after Super Showdown. That's when they actually start this Lesnar-McIntyre feud. Legit, they're struggling to do things with McIntyre. They have MVP segments. They have him clayboring random dudes. Because they have nothing for McIntyre until after Elimination Chamber, when they actually start, feuding him with Lesnar. I don't know, man. I really don't. Like, there's definitely a better way they could have handled this. For real. And the fact is, you had Brock Lesnar there, and you did nothing. You didn't build towards this match with McIntyre at WrestleMania, and you didn't even build towards this match with Ricochet. Honestly, there was no point. This goes back to me saying there was no point of Lesnar being there tonight. Absolutely no point. Aleister Black versus Eric Rowan. So before this, and I really like this, they're actually finally building up Aleister Black. You guys know, anybody that's been watching the podcast, you guys know I've been a big fan of Aleister Black. You guys know how much I love him. And they've been building Aleister Black back up finally, giving him what he deserves. So he's preparing for his match with Eric Rowan. I don't know why they're doing a rematch of this since we just saw this last week. But I'm not going to mind it because of what they did before. So Aleister Black is getting ready for his match, and then he gets confronted by AJ Styles and the OC. Then the AJ Styles and the OC, they say, oh, just because you've been winning the last couple weeks, you think you're hot shit. You think you're all that. Maybe the OC needs to teach you who's boss and give you a little bit of a reminder. So then the OC, they do a 3-on-1 beatdown on Aleister Black, and this is right before his match with Eric Rowan. I'm loving this. All right, so Aleister Black comes for his match. He's clearly not 100% because he just suffered a 3-on-1 beatdown. And you can I loved how Aleister Black was selling the beatdown during this match, as Eric Rowan, was going. Him and Eric Rowan were going toe to toe. So then Aleister Black wins. He hit 2 black masks, of course, to win the match. And then afterwards, he cuts a promo at the top of the ramp, and basically he says, next week, me, AJ Styles, we're gonna fight. I absolutely love this. Even though Aleister Black and AJ Styles, to me personally, that is a WrestleMania level match. That's a WrestleMania level match right there. You guys need to realize that. You guys really need to realize that. Aleister Black versus AJ Styles, I could see that for a United States Championship down the line at WrestleMania if WWE did that. Even though that's the chance of that happening are like 0.1%, because this is what I see happening. AJ Styles is probably gonna win whatever this, I forget what this gauntlet tournament they're having at Super Showdown, right? This is what I see happening. The Undertaker's gonna be appearing eventually. The Undertaker's gonna be appearing to start his feud with AJ Styles going to WrestleMania. Next week, WWE is gonna be in Brooklyn. That's a big show. Because usually when WWE is in Brooklyn, big things happen. Remember, WWE has had SummerSlam in Brooklyn for years now. Until last year, SummerSlam was in Toronto. This year it's in Boston, which I'll be, appearing at. But you guys get the point. I think next week we see The Undertaker on Monday Night Raw. It's going to happen. We're about 5 weeks away from WrestleMania at this point. So they're going to start building towards Styles and The Undertaker. I think what they're going to do is Styles is going to win this useless tournament at Super Showdown. He's going to take the trophy, start bragging about it at Monday Night Raw next week. And then during his match with Aleister Black, and I won't be surprised if Styles wins. Styles will probably win the match. That's when we'll see The Undertaker appear. And that's when they'll start this feud. As much as I would love to see Aleister Black versus The Undertaker, or, we see something a little bit different, because I think Aleister Black and Styles is a WrestleMania worthy match. Still, I'm very excited to see this match next week. This is what I'm talking about. Give me a reason to want to watch next week. Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. I am very excited to see this match next week. Two of my favorites on the main roster. Can't wait to see this. Alright, we also had R-Truth versus Bobby Lashley. They introduced a new thing. R-Truth now has a debut. Truth came out and said this is the impromptu winter debut of Truth TV. So WWE having another talk show. You know, I wouldn't mind the name. But the thing is, first of all, Facebook TV sounds way better. Come on. If anybody deserves a show on WWE TV, it's this guy. Facebook TV. Anyway, plus we already have a WWE talk show named after with TV in the name. Miz TV? So, I don't know. I think they should change R-Truth's name just because it doesn't really make sense. You already have Miz TV, which has been a thing now for like a decade. So, I don't know. And, Miz has a catchy catchphrase. Welcome to the most WWE talk show in history. Welcome to Miz TV. Like, I don't know. That's just my thing on that. Anyway, he had Bobby Lashley and Lana on this. I'm surprised Lashley and Lana are still together on TV. This was stupid. This was basically they build Bobby Lashley off for the gauntlet match. We know Lashley's ain't winning. It's mostly going to be AJ Styles. Lashley destroyed Truth. I like this. Truth did the John Cena comeback. He did the five knuckle shuffle, and he also went for the attitude adjustment, but Lashley caught him and hit him with a spear to get the win. So yeah, Lashley's not winning the gauntlet. It's gonna be Styles. This contract signing, or not the contract signing. Match was whatever. The contract signing I want to talk about, and this will be the big thing. All right, the other big thing I wanted to talk about. The Elimination Chamber contract signing. We know. There's only two people that could possibly win this match. Either Shayna Baszler or Asuka. Those are the only two legit names in this match. I don't give a fuck about Natalya. I like Ruby Riott, but we know that she's not going to win. Sarah Logan, who? Like, here's another thing. Why isn't Kairi Sane in this match? Like, what the hell? Why the hell is Sarah Logan in the match and Kairi Sane isn't? Unless WWE is trying to take it easy since Kairi Sane, she's still... Remember, she had the concussion at TLC. I don't know. It would make sense to me to have Kairi Sane in the match. She's a much better performer than Sarah Logan is. By 1,000 miles. I don't know. Maybe Kairi Sane will get involved in the match somehow to try to aid Asuka. We'll have to wait and see. But you also have Natalya. I don't give a fuck about her. And Liv Morgan. I actually really do like Liv Morgan. I like her babyface character. I feel like Liv Morgan down the road. Liv Morgan on Monday Night Raw and Shayna Baszler on SmackDown. I feel like those are the two names. I feel like those two can become the next big stars in the WWE Women's Division. If WWE can book them properly. I'm loving Liv Morgan. Basically, Jerry King Lawler, man, this guy, he was stuttering, messing up his lines everywhere. He did not know what he was trying to say. It was funny because Asuka and Sarah Logan were looking at Jerry Lawler like, do you know what to say, man? But anyway, basically, they took the contract around. Everyone signed it. Shayna Baszler didn't show up till later on, which we'll talk about in just a couple seconds. But Liv Morgan took the contract, signed it, and she slammed it in Ruby Riott's face. All right, you still see, I like they're slowly building this Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott story. Because remember, there's just way too much going on for them to really focus on that story right now. You know what I mean? We have WrestleMania coming up, and we know you're not getting Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott one-on-one. This is probably going to be a storyline that's built or has a little bit more of a focus after WrestleMania. So I don't mind the slow pacing of this feud. But the segment was great. Shayna Baszler came out after everyone decided. She came out through the crowd. I love this, to give Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch didn't know where Shayna Baszler was going to come from. Shayna Baszler comes into the ring, and she's a badass. She decides the contract, and then she just stares down everybody in the ring. She's like, you're all shit to me. None of y'all gonna beat me at the Elimination Chamber. I love that. Shayna Baszler has that badass mentality. All right, similar to like Ronda Rousey's and the Sasha Banks and the Oscars of the world. Asuka takes the mic and she starts talking about Shayna, Shayna, Shayna. I would love a Shayna and Asuka feud. Oh my gosh. I would absolutely love that. Alright? Definitely. I love Asuka. Shayna, she's a badass. So definitely down the line, hopefully we get something like that. But then, basically Asuka gets in Shayna's face. And so does Natalya. Natalya takes out Asuka. And then everyone starts brawling. Liv Morgan jumps over the table and starts attacking Ruby Riott. We have a brawl at ringside. And Shayna Baszler's just like clapping like, oh, I love this. I'm reaping havoc. And then Becky Lynch comes out. And then, it looks like, all right, we're finally going to see Becky and Shayna, because there's nothing crossing them. And I can already tell, just from just the stare at it alone, Shayna looks so much more of a badass than Becky Lynch. She looks so much more like a badass than Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch isn't that cool anymore to me. She's wearing these crow glasses, she's wearing these jackets every single week. Like, I'm sorry, I'm over Becky Lynch, to be honest. It's Shayna's time. Just like it's Sasha's time on SmackDown to become Women's Champion. Alright? Now, WrestleMania, I best believe, Sasha and Shayna, they better become the new Women's Champions. Shayna runs Raw, Sasha runs SmackDown. That's the way it should be going forward. But the two start brawling. I love Shayna, like, deadlifted Becky for a vicious spine buster. And then, of course, the WWE officials get involved, to break them apart. Shayna's winning the chamber. She's going to dominate. I hope it's like Asuka and Shayna as the final two, and they have like a 10-minute battle, similar to what we saw with Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan last year at the Elimination Chamber. But, honestly, it's whatever. I love the segment. This was one of the better contract signings we've seen in recent history, or not history, like recent months, all right, but it did its job. It built towards Becky and Shayna. It built also Liv and Ruby Riott. And Asuka was just amazing in this. Asuka just with her comments. She stole the mic from Jerry Lawler at some point. I absolutely love this. All right, last but not least, before we get out of here, we had the Street Profits versus Murphy and Montez Ford. Well, no, we had Angelo Dawkins versus Murphy, and then we had Montez Ford versus Seth Rollins. So I'm just happy that, the Street Profits are actually finally starting to get some sort of build on Monday Night Raw. I like this. The Street Profits gave a really good promo to start this match, and basically, as Dawkins was just about to beat Murphy, Seth Rollins interfered to save his partner, and that's what happened here. Then Montez Ford challenged Seth Rollins to a match, and then this was really exciting. Really exciting. Both these matches were really good. I'm just happy that the Street Profits are actually getting some television time, alright? And then this led to Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, because Seth Rollins stayed at ringside, and I like this. They're continuing the Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins storyline, but they're also mixing Randy Orton in to continue the Randy Orton and Edge storyline, alright? This was really good. So, near the end of this match, because I'm not going to get into all the details. So, basically, Seth put a chair in the ring. Well, this is what happened. Orton hit KO with a move. It wasn't the RKO. I think it was the DDT. And then there was a ref. This was a crooked ref. The ref did a very fast 3 count. And even Randy Orton was like, huh? What's going on? And afterwards, Seth puts 2 chairs in the ring, and basically what Seth wanted Randy Orton to do is he wanted him to do the Carpole chair shot when he does the double chair, with put Kevin Owens' face on the steel chair, and then he also does another chair on top of that. Instead, what happens is Orton takes too much time, and KO is able to recover, get back up, and basically Orton just like, fuck this, I'm leaving. So no Randy Orton beat down today. And it also was announced that Beth Phoenix will be on Monday Night Raw next week. I definitely can't wait for that. I hope they do something with Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix. Especially because Beth Phoenix can take some bumps. So imagine they do something like Randy Orton attacks Beth Phoenix. If we see that next week, you heard it here first. I hope we get that next week. But Afterwards, it's revealed that the ref that did the Fast 3 count was wearing a Seth Rollins t-shirt. So basically, he was a follower of Seth Rollins and basically wanted to see KO lose. So basically, Seth Rollins leaves this referee alone to deal with KO. He's like, Seth's like, leave him alone. He's a good man. He's just a follower of the Messiah, a guy who's following the right path. But anyway, KO's having none of it. He hits him with the Stone Cold Stunner, and then he power bombs him through a table, and that's how the show ends. Alright, so I like this. It continued the Randy Orton and Edge storyline, and it also, was something fresh in terms of the Kevin Owens Seth Rollins storyline, instead of us getting 6-man tag matches every single week. Alright. So other than that, guys, that's about all that happened tonight on Raw. This wasn't a terrible show. There were some things I didn't like. I definitely loved the women's contract signing, even though this match should not be happening. WWE could have avoided this if they just had Shayna Baszler win the Elimination Chamber, but it's whatever at this point. Nothing we can do here. And yeah, I enjoyed the Randy Orton and Kevin Owens story. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought on Monday Night Raw tonight. If you guys haven't yet, check out my SmackDown review. I don't know what I'm gonna do this week because I'm probably gonna be going to SmackDown. So definitely, I don't know if I'll be doing a review or it may go up later. I don't know. Other than that, guys, that's about all I got for you guys today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Enable notifications by clicking the bell next to my name, Fitspunk TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you guys later. Follow me on social media. Have a great day, guys.